Welcome to episode 122 of the Final Corner podcast. We are back from our Easter holidays from the F1 with the Miami Grand Prix coming from the Crypto.com Miami Football Stadium car park thing. What's it called? International Autodome. Yes, because that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom, Nick, welcome. Miami Grand Prix.
Hello.
Pretty decent, actually. How was your weeks?
Yeah, it was interesting. It's not a race I'm ever looking forward to, but it was much improved this year compared to previous.
How dare we say that? Aren't we supposed to hate these cars?
It's not the cars, it's the engine.
Oh, the engine of the powertrain. I thought it all worked quite well this weekend. Quite enjoyed it. And to its credit, Colin, it's now a permanent venue. It's no longer just a car park. Well, part of it's permanent. The first half of it is now permanent. There's still
Right.
parts of it that are a car park, but there we go.
What did they use it for then? The rest of the year? That first half.
So Formula E, has it just had a race there, or will have a race there? And they use like
Oh,
the
is
first
it?
half, yeah.
Right.
And then you can do the odd like private members track day stuff now. But that's only new as of 26.
Right, well, that's fair enough. I take all that back. It's a beautiful circuit. It's a fantastic stadium. Is it the Hard Rock Stadium?
It was. I assume it still is.
Yeah.
Is it Dolphins?
Are they good at the football?
Could be. Not a clue.
Wrong podcast.
They've won two Super Bowls in 1972 and 1973. So, no, they're
Oh no.
fake. Right. Right, anyway, F1. Right.
News update.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of rule changes before it. It's battery recharging. I don't give a hoot,
Yeah.
to be honest. But the batteries have been changed, or the recharger has been changed, which probably helped this weekend. Racing Bulls have made a mess of their car somehow.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
people really liked it, but I just thought it looked like a really bad Jordan livery.
oh, I thought you meant performance
Well, that as well.
because they've slipped down the ladder. Yeah, did you? I recommend Stefano Domenicali's interview with the race. Watch that with Ed Straw and John Noble, or listen to it in podcast form before this race because they asked him all the tough questions about, the fans aren't happy with, or some fans aren't happy with like the energy deployment. Is it too much? And he's like, no. There is no problems with Formula One. It's absolutely perfect. The crowds are sold out. I don't care about megajoules. So it's really good. But obviously, it's one of those weird things where it's like, there's nothing to see here in the background. They've made changes.
Yeah,
yeah.
quite a lot as well.
And Mohammed bin Salman has announced that they're going to have V8s in about 4 or 5 years anyway.
Yeah,
And they're going to do away with it
interesting.
all.
Pinch of salt with that.
Yeah, because he's the one saying it. And
Yes.
basically said if the teams don't agree to it, then we'll just do it anyway a year later. But I mean, I hope so, but it's got to be done the right way because you can't just do it at the expense of the manufacturers all pulling out. So
I suppose so. Ferrari brought their flippy wing, and then Red Bull brought a better flippy wing. So
yeah,
I don't understand the Red Bull one. Is it like I'm looking at the GIF that Nick's compiled in our research document here, and it's more like an it doesn't flip. Is it like an elevator? It's kind of weird.
it flips, but it flips the other way.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
reversed, and so that seems to allow it to open quicker and wider.
That is a gaping hole.
in a good way,
Yeah, obviously.
the kind you want.
Yeah.
And probably last bit of news: Alan McNish has applied for not applied. He's got a job at Audi. So it's
Put
good to see
CV
our
in.
Scotsman off the unemployment line. So
He had
that's
a-
lovely.
Driver development role there already, which he keeps.
Hmm.
This is an additional one, as Jonathan Wheatley's gone elsewhere.
Yeah, and he's racing director, which is basically team principal in terms of at the track.
But
But,
not with the name. Presumably
'cause-
cash. But anyway,
Yeah. Binotto is still classified as team principal, but he doesn't attend the races. So
that's so weird.
mhm.
All right, we'll go straight into sprint day. We had sprint day. That's nice. We like a sprint day,
Mhm.
don't we? Yes?
Oh yes, I do.
Good. So the qualifying, we won't go through it all, but it was Norris and Piastri, the top three. So a return to form looking like for McLaren, have at least joined the party. George Russell, a pretty disastrous six. And Colapinto was fairly quick this weekend. He put his Alpine in eighth.
Yeah, he's been performing quite well at the moment. Can he keep it going? He out-qualified his teammate, which is the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you look at the times. You know, Bottas was 20th, and he was a second. Oh no, it was well slower. I'm talking nonsense. Uh, what's confusing me is the fact that Fernando Alonso is 10 seconds slower than Valtteri Bottas. So I'm getting confused. Disaster. Right, on to the actual sprint race, and Nico Hulkenberg blows up, which is unfortunate.
Not
It
ideal.
wasn't great, was it?
And the trend of Kimi Antonelli having horrendous race starts just continues.
Yes, they were told, or Mercedes specified that this was not his fault. This was down to them choosing the wrong settings. I don't know, just them trying to give him a bit more confidence.
Yes, we get a little bit of 2021 back again with Max and Lewis fighting. Very close to each other, a few bits of contact as well.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
think
Hmm.
Lewis eventually got ahead for a while, and then later on it all got very 2021 with a lot of nonsense. Max keeps a position or makes an overtake. I think it was an overtake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was an overtake.
Yeah, and both of them end up going off the track as normal, and then we get shenanigans with Max trying to let him through, and then Lewis not responding in kind.
Hmm.
It was a bit
What
weird, that, wasn't it?
It was.
what a load of nonsense that was.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. The only thing I can think of was that Lewis didn't want him behind him with the DRS with the boost into turn one, but I don't see it would have made much difference.
Yeah. It it really was 2021. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
shame it wasn't for the lead, but there we go.
True.
Yeah.
Didn't Max get him the lap later anyway, or soon after that?
He did,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. It took it right back.
Lewis was very slow this race. This sprint, sorry. Like he
Good deal
just,
for you.
yeah, bloody hell, my own rules.
Kimi had a bit of a nightmare. He ended up dropping behind George Russell, despite starting with 5 positions in front of him, 4 positions in front. That disastrous start put him on the back foot, dropped behind, and he ended up finishing behind Verstappen as well. Was that a penalty?
Yeah, he finished ahead of Russell on track. He overtook him in the sprint,
Yes.
which is wild, really, how the form has turned. Although, can I just say that the season is long, so let's not get too excited. We did mention in season preview that, hang on a minute, if the Merc is good, why are people ignoring Antonelli?
It was for track limits.
Ah, yes.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
why? To be fair, I was pretty down on Antonelli at the end of last year.
Well, he
anyway.
didn't sparkle, did he? But
No.
No,
first year, and then this is it. You have to remember. We have to remember that all new rules, all new cars. So he's young. He can probably suck it up like a sponge.
Yeah. No, he's doing really well. I just hate the constant. He's the youngest ever World Championship leader. Which is a pointless stat, but they keep bringing it out every time.
David Croft.
Of course, but it's not just him either this time.
No, it's
No,
not.
no. I know. Right, I'm not going to go on my rant. Right, okay. But I've just watched the highlights on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel with the other commentator.
Yeah. Alex
what's his
Jacks and Jolyon Palmer and David Coulthard.
And you see every single overtake that Crofty got the wrong way around during the race. They managed to get it the right way around during the race. So it is doable. It is right. Just swap the commentary teams. Come on.
Ah, well, Sky has just signed a deal. That's not necessarily the commentaries. Sky for the UK and Italy has just elongated their deal with Formula One.
Really?
Yes, yesterday. Also, didn't Crofty say who's going west and who's going straight north? What What's that got
Yeah.
to do with anything?
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on at the moment.
Anyway, Norris won. Piastri was second. Leclerc was third. McLaren won too.
Yes,
I
and looked
mean,
very strong as well.
yeah, and they did have form in Suzuka, and you have to sort of think, right? Well, if they've got the best powertrain in the past few years, their suspension gurus and aerodynamicists have outdeveloped Mercedes.
Mhm.
So we should have never written them off. It was an inauspicious start, right? Bit naive from my point of view, but then Suzuka we saw signs of it, and then here in the sprint and sprint qualifying, seems to be back on form again. Could be track
Yeah.
specific, but doesn't feel like it.
There's a few caveats, though, isn't there? Because it was a sprint weekend, so therefore they might have just got very lucky with their practice, got the
And the
setup right.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely back in the mix.
Was it this one where Hadjar put the bright move on Copito? Yes, it's in your notes for this race. It was through like the S's. I wasn't sure if that was the main race or this one, but that was a sparkling move. That was great. You don't see overtakes there very often.
He had a poor weekend otherwise, but yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So then we went on to qualifying, which was on Saturday night, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, because I'd just come back home from watching Falkirk beat Barcelona. So
Hey, say that again. We were under
Oh,
mate's
but-
house playing EAFC again.
no, Barcelona are in playing Scotland now. They're called Motherwell, but the media seems to think they're Barcelona. We've
Right.
just taken
In
10 points out of 12 out of them. So just
Scottish
wanted to
Premier
put that
League
out there.
jokes. Yeah.
Scottish Premiership.
Premiership, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
saw something
Saturday night.
interesting about their sponsors, but we probably wouldn't go into that one.
The carrot's gone.
No.
Really?
Yeah, the carrot's gone. They're not sponsoring them anymore.
Wow.
Ooh. That's
I know.
very disappointing.
I know. So say goodbye to the carrot. Okay, qualifying.
Emotional. Oh, yeah.
Antonelli, pole from Max Verstappen from Charles Leclerc. George Russell again, nightmare, fifth. And McLaren kind of lost their pace.
Well, Norris is
Yeah.
in fourth, but by the way, didn't he whoop Piastri this weekend? I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think Piastri's an amazing driver. I think he can still win the title. Just quite a gap to him this year. Oh, he pulled it back in the race, but still, generally behind. And Hamilton behind Leclerc again seems to be a theme at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, they went 3 or 4 tenths slower than they did in sprint qualifying,
Mm.
which was pretty poor.
Also, Herculean effort from Max Verstappen there, I thought.
Oh yeah.
And where's Hadjar in comparison?
Hadjar had a very poor weekend in general. I think he just didn't have the pace at all.
Oh, did he have an issue in qualifying though? Anyway, generally he was.
And
Far-
he was wasn't he disqualified from qualifying?
Yes, I think so. You're right. But before then, I think was he about a second off Max or something?
Yeah, he wasn't that close.
Yeah,
I
so
know
that's too far. And then Pinto was really impressive in both qualifying sessions. To out qualify Gasly in the same car, no mean feat.
Yeah, completely.
Where's that come from? Nobody knows. Not even him.
Yeah, probably not.
Total Wolf must have pumped a wee bit in already since he's about to buy them.
True.
Oh, yeah, that seems to be the rumor.
By the way, just I know I've said this a few episodes. What the hell has happened to Williams? They are still nowhere.
Yeah.
They
Not
got
right.
points in the race. Spoiler, but you're right. It's bad. I'm more concerned about Aston Martin because they brought precisely 0 upgrades to this race. Like
Yeah,
what?
I think they may be coming to Canada.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're right. I think Haas had a similar strategy, right?
Yeah, and
Which-
Mercedes.
Which why? When you've already had like 5 weeks off to get them ready.
It does seem a bit weird. Fewer vibrations, though, apparently.
Yes, that's the only good thing they've got going at the moment. But yeah, I know what you mean. Normally, I would say maybe they weren't ready in time, but a 5-week gap, you would think there would be something ready to put on the car.
Not ideal.
No. Okay, on to the race, and we get a bit of excitement start. The Ferraris are quick offline as well, as usual. Leclerc is a good start. Kimi goes off at turn one. He runs wide. Max goes a bit deep, trying to keep the position from Leclerc. Then through turn two, it looks like he gets spooked by Leclerc, kind of squeezing him slightly.
Hmm.
Gets on the throttle, spins the car, and he does catch it. I think the catch was a bit overborne by the commentators, but he catches
Mhm.
it well enough,
Well,
and
yeah,
that just disrupts people behind.
he deliberately keeps the lock to the right and floors it, and then comes off the throttle at the right time. So it's like I've seen it do it before.
Yeah.
It's like a controlled spin, and the steering angle's deliberate. So that's quite clever. But I thought he drove like a bit of a demon, like he'd had too much Red Bull.
Yeah.
Like his
I thought
chop
that.
across, is it Norris or Piastri, is pretty aggressive at the start. Then he outbrakes himself. Then he spins, and then, well, moving. I'm going ahead a bit, but then he just sends it down the inside of everybody repeatedly for 5, 6
Mhm.
laps in a row, right?
Yeah, he was definitely on tilt, is how I describe it. Just,
I think Science on the radio said, "This guy, come on, just because he thinks he can do whatever he wants because he's fighting the midfield or something like that."
yeah,
And I
which I
agreed
think
with that assessment.
is absolutely true.
Yeah, I loved that Albon gave him a little bit back.
Yes.
I
Same.
mean,
Yes.
ultimately, he lost the position like 4 seconds later, but going on the pit straight, he tried to shove him into a bollard, which I think is totally fair since Max had just completely dive bombed him twice.
Yeah, totally. And you can't just sit back and let him have that. Otherwise, he'll just think that that's everyone will just fall over for him. So someone's got to fight something.
Yeah,
So I did like that. Although I do think that bollard is really strangely positioned, and I don't like it.
Yes.
Why is it? It's not even at the start of the pit lane. It's in the track. If you're running two, yeah, it's really strange. In F2, I thought someone's going to drive straight into that. They didn't, but they nearly did.
yeah. I mean, Max, did he actually make contact with any of those guys? It's fairly close on a couple of occasions,
Well,
wasn't?
there was a move against Lawson. Want
Yeah,
to talk about
so
that?
he goes down the inside of
Yeah.
Lawson. Neither of them make the corner, but then Lawson hands the position back
I
half a
still
lap
don't
later.
understand that.
Yeah, the team radio just tell him to do it, and Lawson argues it and goes, "Well, I don't understand because he pushed me off."
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the difference was with Lewis is that he got past Lewis, they both went off, and then he gave the place back. Whereas
Lawson didn't. But
Lawson kept the place by going around the outside on.
yeah,
Yeah, I
to
still
me,
don't
that's
believe he should have given it back though.
totally. So I can only think that it was like a team tactic to help Max in a coded way.
Possibly.
Yeah,
It's just-
kind of. If that was Alpine that Lawson was fighting, I doubt he would have
Yeah,
been that
no, of
compliant.
course he wouldn't. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we get a bit of a fight between the Ferrari and the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli. Antonelli's half dives and everything doesn't please Leclerc. He's on the radio saying that he's terrible at fuel racing. I thought it was slightly harsh, but
Yeah,
probably
Coming
has
from
a
Leclerc.
bit of a point. Yeah, probably has a bit of a point though. Antonelli, some of these little dives were
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
really on.
I agree.
But at least he's hassling them and going for it.
yeah, that's what he's there for.
Yeah, I mean, he eventually gets the move done in the final corner, which didn't seem to be a great overtaking place with the people fighting back, but he held the position for a lap or two before then Leclerc just drove past him.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on, wasn't there? Where people would overtake, and you think, right, they've got it done, and then they just couldn't pull away again.
Yeah, because it's then the person behind has the overtake mode, right?
Oh yeah, but a few times you think that they had the speed to pull away in the twisty
Mm,
sections, but
true.
it's just not quite enough. Which I like, to be fair.
Yeah, same.
We then get a safety car for two reasons at once, which is, well, good going, I suppose. Isaac Hadjar smashes into the wall, breaks everything based on the car, and has one of the most spectacular hissy fits I've ever seen in my life within a
That's
cockpit.
brilliant.
He was going for about 2 minutes. Like they
Mm.
I
kept
know.
cutting back, and he was still punching the steering wheel. It was outstanding. And then we then cut to Pierre Gasly, sort of wedged against a barrier. He's sent flying by Liam Lawson, who turns out his transmission, I think, failed just as he was going for an
Mhm.
overtake, which then
Yeah,
flipped. barrel rolled Gasly over, which on first viewing you just thought it was such a terrible, lazy braking maneuver.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
shoddy, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't even walk off. It was just like, come on. But but fair play to Lawson, it wasn't actually his fault. But
Yeah, if you watch the onboard, you can hear that like he's got no downshifts and no engine braking as he enters, just as he enters the braking zone. So it's not ideal. They did try and reset it and then get it moving, and then it went again, and I think eventually they retired him.
Yeah, I think he pitted on the very next lap, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, it went back past the start finish straight, and it was working again, and then into the first corner again, it died as he was braking. So they just coasted it back in.
Hajar,
He was under pressure. He did a really good qualifying session in Australia. That's it. Otherwise, actually, he was close in one other round. We thought it could have been okay. He's going to challenge it to Max. I think Max has now switched back on again. Now there's a chance of podiums and things. And this was a really disappointing. It's only one weekend, but it's a really disappointing weekend.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. But also, I do think Miami's quite a strange track. I think particular drivers just don't get on with it.
Well, this
I
is
think
George Russell's excuse, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I think a regular track like we have with the second best track in the world coming up, that should
Qatar.
be somewhere we can see. No, with Canada, we should be able to see better where he is in relation to Max. If he's still that far behind a track like that, I think he's struggling.
Yep. Agreed.
yeah, I mean, Max has got 26 points, Hajar's got 4. And you might think, well, there's always going to be a gap, etc., etc. Behrman's got 17,
Yeah.
Gasly's got 16, Lawson's got 10. Like, it's not been a good start. And the trend for Red Bull most seasons is starts quite close and then the car goes away from the second driver
Totally.
pretty sharply. Which, well done. Good luck to you, Isaac.
Gonna need
Okay,
it.
so we get restart, and Mercedes can't do normal restarts, can't do restarts either. So
Well-
Piastri gets Russell, and Norris gets Antonelli.
Oh, Russell was. I'm in the wrong mode. Give me a heads up. So I think it sounded like he was in the wrong mode, but he was annoyed that the team didn't spot that he was in the wrong mode. That was my
I
interpretation.
love that. So why didn't you tell me that I've done it wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, and then I think Max kind of goes for a bit of a football term, a Hail Mary here, and he pits on lap 7 for Hards.
Hmm. I thought that
Um,
was a stupid decision, but it actually turned out reasonably good for him.
Oh, did it?
I think it did really because it gave him track position a little bit at the end.
I mean, it made the race interesting.
Because what was he like 16th place at that point or something before he pitted?
Oh, of
It was
course,
really
he had
low
the
down.
spin and stuff, didn't he? Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and I mean, he finished 5th in front of Hamilton, who we should have mentioned had a clash with Colapinto, I think on lap 1.
Yep.
Colapinto went a bit deep in defending and caused quite a bit of damage to the left-hand side of his Hamilton's car, which he was not happy about because he gave old Franco the finger down the next straight.
Very on Hamilton, that.
Yes, that is actually.
Yeah, well, Britain and Argentina have been having a bit of aggro in the past couple of weeks, so it's maybe just kicking off slightly
Let's
there
not
as
go
well.
there.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so where are we now? There's a few moves at the front. You end up with a kind of freeway fight. Norris, Leclerc, and Russell. Not Russell, Antonelli, which I thought was quite entertaining.
Yes.
And then after, 10 laps of that, Ferrari strategy kicks in and Leclerc pits, which I think he was covering off Russell at that point, wasn't he?
I think
But
so, yeah.
ended up losing the position to Russell due to a slow stop. And Leclerc at that point was like, I don't know, between 4 or 5 seconds off the lead.
Mm.
And suddenly he's absolutely nowhere fighting through traffic.
Yeah, it absolutely ruined his race. Because, yeah, at that point, it was a three-way fight for the lead, potentially. And then he was nowhere. It was only sort of later in the race when, after the stops are panned out, it's kind of like, how did he drop so far back?
Yeah, I mean, if you ignore what happens in the last lap where he spun, he's probably finishing about 30 seconds behind Antonelli.
Mhm.
because he got overtaken by Piastri right at the end. But so he's went from like 4 or 5 seconds off the lead to 30. I mean,
Mm.
that's just horrendous, absolutely shocking.
Mhm.
There was a few again dodgy Max Verstappen overtakes.
Well, he was on old tires, so people kept coming through, but then he would fight back immediately. So that was really
Yeah,
interesting. I like
Yeah.
that. It isn't the quickest way because he was going to lose that position anyway, and has he just then hastened his demise? But I don't think he thinks like that, does he?
the one that I thought he was being really stubborn on is the one where Norris and Antonelli combined him, and Antonelli gets a move on him,
Oh yes, he
and
does not let Norris by that.
Norris
Yeah.
holds Norris up. Norris makes a move into the last corner, and he just dive bombs him, just
Yeah.
like screw you, I'm coming back again, and it's just. I don't know. Is it like petulant or is it just proving a point? Is it just entertaining himself? There's a mindset there where it's just like I'm just chucking up here. Like he's not. I don't think he's overly bothered at the moment about race time and things like that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that spin at the beginning that just, let's say, put him on tilt and he just felt like he had to do everything, or if he's just in this mode anyway. But yeah, it
Anyway,
was very strange.
it was entertaining. So
Oh,
thanks.
yes. Love that.
It was. It was. After all that, Kimi keeps reporting gearbox problems. The lead gap between him and Norris hovers around 2
Do you think
seconds
it's
ish.
actually code for "I've got this, easy peasy"?
It could have been at the end.
Yeah. Let's keep the gap at a sensible thing so we don't get pegged back by the FIA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we get some good fights. Piastri and Russell. Piastri gets the better of Russell, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which again, those that early pit stop it ended up, I think, cutting George in the end. He was kind of nowhere near it. And as you get towards the end of the race, Piastri and Leclerc are fighting each other. And then what Leclerc closes it in turn three, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well,
Clo-
one thing about that is the lap before, Piastri passes Leclerc, and what I couldn't understand is that Leclerc didn't have the rear wing open
Well,
or the
it was, and then he
front
closed
wing.
it, and then it opened again.
Well, it looked from what I saw, but I'm not sure. It looked like as he went past, he opened it and it closed, but I don't think it
Hmm.
was open straight at all. So I wasn't sure if it
I
was a
think it.
deliberate ploy to let him pass, and then he was going to try and boost past on
uh,
the next thing.
From what I saw, I think it was open initially, and then he closed it.
Hmm.
Then it closed. Yeah, anyway, it wasn't functioning correctly, or it was a deliberate ploy. It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
theory, he lets him by, and then he gets overtaken the final lap,
Hmm.
right? But because that's before, I think he lost too much around that corner.
Hmm.
Piastri pulls away down that start-finish straight, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And then I think Leclerc's maybe overcompensating a bit and loses it. That's my theory.
yeah. At first, I thought maybe he had the problem first, and then something caused it to spin. But the more I look at it, I think maybe he was just trying too hard to keep up.
Yeah, and then he slaps the wall.
Yeah,
I don't know what broke, but then he couldn't turn right or left properly.
yeah. It's just, someone said the steering arm.
Yeah,
Probably Brundle, but I don't know.
yeah, he can't
And
turn right
then,
properly. He can turn left okay, but he can't turn right.
yeah, so he then decides to cut half the corners on the track.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
So Russell and Max are scrapping away, swapping positions. They eventually catch up with Leclerc. Russell makes a move into the last corner of the last lap. Leclerc hits him, but
Mm.
Russell goes through anyway. And then it looks like Leclerc might hold off Max, but he can't turn right, as you say at all. And Max goes past to take, I think it was fifth position at that
yeah.
point.
Was, yeah.
Um, Leclerc gets a 20-second race penalty for leaving the track with no justifiable reason. Now, is that fair, or should it actually have been a disqualification for just missing out half the track?
Ooh, I don't know. Disqualification seems a
It's
bit harsh, no?
it's a
Just
tricky
answering the
one.
question.
I kind of felt the 20-second penalty was a bit harsh in a way, but justified, but a bit harsh because he did have a justified reason for going off track. It's that his car wouldn't turn, and he was going very slowly. But I think if they'd given him a penalty for driving a car in an unsafe condition, maybe they could have maybe made more sense. But just for leaving the track, I found it a bit odd.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, if you're right, if the FIA had said you should have packed that up because that was pumped, mate, like it wasn't
Mm.
safe. Completely agree. But yeah, he did have a reason. But yeah, he should have parked up. If you can't take a corner, you shouldn't just cut
Mm,
every
Yeah.
corner. It's not a reason. Because remember, Hamilton did that a couple of years
yeah,
ago,
he
or was it
did.
last year?
I can't remember what,
And
why or when.
Mm.
yeah, he had something broken as well, and he got a penalty for that. So that dropped Leclerc down to eighth and promoted Hamilton and Colin Pietro up. Russell had damage as well, didn't he? His
Yeah, he
front wing was
clipped
hanging off.
Verstappen
Yeah.
a few laps earlier.
2 years ago, that would have been a meatball flag, and he'd have been in.
Aye, aye.
Mm.
If Gunther Steiner was still team boss, Meatball Flag would have come out against the Haas.
100%, 100%. Max also got a penalty post race for crossing the pit exit line, which I don't know why I needed a post race.
That was
Uh,
ridiculous. Palmer was rightly aggrieved with that. He was like,
Yes.
"It's my pet here is if you drive over the line, that's in race. You sort that out in the race, please."
Yeah. It
yeah,
wasn't something that was needed to be reviewed, was it? It's fact. You're over or you're not.
And he was over. So there we go.
Yeah.
yeah. Other penalty, Bottas got a speed in the pit lane penalty, which again took forever to decide, which is mad.
Uh-huh.
I thought the Cadillacs
Hulk,
did much better in the sprint, and I thought, oh, they've made a step forward. And in the race, it was just back to Aston versus Cadillac at the back, miles behind everybody.
yeah, yeah. So we had four retirements: Hulkenberg, Lawson, Gasly, Hadjar. Those bottom four are going to be locked in for the season, aren't they? Aston's the one you look at and you go, well, they might fix that, but I don't expect Cadillac to ever really move up, do you?
No.
Not this season, I don't think, anyway.
Williams, after me slagging him, actually got double points finish in this one, but I'm so disappointed in him.
Mm. And
Yeah,
so is Albon, I think, isn't he? And Sainz this weekend. They both were very critical of the team and things that were being done.
Yeah, I think it's a sad state of affairs when you go, oh, well, at least they got double points. You know, this was the year where they were supposed to be winning the championship.
Oh, yeah.
I think both of those drivers will be looking for an exit pretty quickly.
Where could they go, though?
That's the only problem. If there's somewhere they can get to, then I think that both of them would take it at the moment.
I think there's going to be a seat at Red Bull by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, there will be. But would you want that?
Possibly not. And I think there'll be a seat at Audi as well.
Oh, interesting. Ferrari, no? Surely Hamilton retires.
No, I think Hamilton drags on, don't you?
I thought he was going to before the season started, but he's looked renewed this year. So yeah, I'd be tempted to say he would stay on. But if he doesn't, Behrman seems to have that on lockdown.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, he had damage in this race, so we couldn't actually see what he would do. The times he got close to people, like at the safety car restart, it looked like he really wanted to fight Russell and positioned if he could, but he just lost so much downforce he couldn't. Um, Canada is a good track for him though, so that'll be a good pair.
I was just thinking that he's always gone really well at Canada, so it'll be interesting to see.
I'm just generally disappointed by Ferrari again.
Hmm.
That in Australia, it thought, oh, they might be the ones to take it to Mercedes, but look at McLaren now. Look at Red Bull now.
Yeah, but it is going to be one of those seasons, I think, where everything switches around. It's not
Well, I
who's
hope so.
fast at the beginning. It's going to be who develops well throughout the year.
Well, they're not Ferrari.
Historically, no.
No, what you would say though is that this weekend we probably had a four-team fight at the front for periods, which was
Brilliant.
interesting.
Yeah.
However, Mercedes won four races in a row. Antonelli wins three in a row, and he is now 20 points ahead of George Russell.
Yeah, who is a further, is it 29 points? Something I believe
He-
it's.
21 points ahead of Leclerc.
Oh yes, sorry, I was looking at the gap to Norris.
Yeah, he's 29 ahead of Norris and Hamilton as well. Max, 26 points. He's well behind, but who knows? Only five drivers still without a point. That's Hulkenberg, Bottas, Perez, Alonso, Stroll. The old man's club at the bottom, and Lance Stroll. all without points.
The old man and Stroll.
Yes. Mercedes lead the way in constructors, 180 points. Ferrari 110, McLaren 94, Red Bull 30. And again, you're starting to see why they need. Well, I'm going to say they need a strong second driver. I think they've got a strong second driver. They just can't seem to get anyone that can handle their cars.
Mm.
It's mad.
I'm just more interested to see what's going to happen for Canada now. There was not much. I mean, the development race was quite interesting, and I want to see if Mercedes come back because they're supposed to have held most of their upgrades for Canada. But is that going to affect things or not?
Well, that is my big worry about Canada, is that Mercedes will just be half a second ahead,
Mm-hmm.
further ahead, because it'll be a rocket ship down those front and back straights. So I'm a bit worried, to be honest.
Well, traditionally as well at Canada, Mercedes do have a history of brake problems, so there is possibility there.
And McLarens do have a tradition of hitting each other.
Well, one has a tradition of hitting the other.
Yeah. So it may be interesting. It may be interesting. So that's the first and third of. No, that was last week. What date is it? 22nd to 24th. Why have we got 3 weeks?
I know.
Another 3
What
weeks.
a-
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh.
Well, this was planned 3 weeks.
Yeah, we've just had the unplanned 5-week break, and now
Yeah.
this is the planned one.
Yeah. Hey, there's touring cars, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is very true. So yeah, Canada, 24th of May. Is it another sprint?
I think it is actually.
Yeah, it is. Now after that, we go to the Snooze Fest of Monaco, and the middle of June, we're in Barcelona.
Yay.
Whoop.
Yes, I know. I know.
It might
Back
be
up in front.
improved with these new regulations, maybe.
Nah.
Now, it's done. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about?
No,
Just
I
British
think
touring
that's it.
cars. Is it this weekend?
It is. Looking forward to it.
Yes, and they announced stuff about the Junior Championship as well this week, which I'm sure we'll talk about next
Yeah.
on the next episode. Where are we this week? Is it Brands? It is.
It is.
Brands Hatch Indy for the touring cars. Any
It's always fun.
predictions for that one?
Well,
Ooh.
judging from what we saw, a Hamilton will spin.
Yes.
But no real
Punches.
predictions yet.
If it's warm, there'll be punches. And
That's true.
who will actually do well in qualifying? Well, you'd think, Ingram domination. That's the prediction. Yeah, because he's 8th in the points, so he'll have. He didn't even need the boosts, but he'll have the boost.
Yeah. And Josh Cook will do really well, but something will go wrong and ruin his weekend.
Yes. Oh dear.
So, Brands Hatch, Saturday, 19 degrees, sunny spells. Sunday, 15 degrees, 40% chance of rain.
So no punches in. Fine.
Rain would be interesting.
I would. If we can have a bit of that, that'd be lovely. Okay, well, that do us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice brief look through the Miami Grand Prix.
Bye.
Yeah, bye, that'll do. It's an audio podcast, Tom. Making a face and turning your head doesn't help us.
I got nothing to say. Sorry.